we go. So I shut down things on the laptop and Facebook was acting strange, telling me that I couldn't use the live feature. And so here I am. I will give it a couple of minutes and hopefully you'll be able to join me now. Gotta love technology, man. I'm telling you, holy. Let's see about turning this. There we go. Okay. Oh my goodness. The joys of technology. Technology and I have an evolving relationship, as I like to say, because I have learned a lot in the last few years, but we still have our moments. And of course we have Mercury retrograde in our energy right now. So there have been a number of technical issues, but here we are. So today is day one of our Masterclass series. If you're here with me live, please say hi. Let me know you're here. If you catch the replay, let me know. Just do a little hashtag replay and comment along, drop your questions, comments, whatever comes up for you as we go through this little Masterclass series. So we are starting with creating calm out of chaos in our homes. And there's a reason why I start with the home first, because our homes are an extension of ourselves. So, this clutter and this chaotic energy that we have in our homes is very much an extension of the chaos in our minds and our bodies. The two are very, very much connected. We are not separate from our homes. Our homes are a part of us, right? Our energy merges with the energy of our home. And so it's an external representation of the chaos that's going on inside of us. So when we start with creating calm spaces around us, it can help calm our minds and calm our bodies because it's all connected because of that extension. The clutter in your home comes from the clutter in your mind. And because everything is connected, when we have clutter in our spaces, it creates this low level, low vibrational hum that we may not even realize is there until we start to work through it and clear it out. And then all of a sudden you start to notice shifts in your mind and in your body as you create this calm in your home space. So I'm curious, how calm does your home feel right now? So if you are working out in the world and you come home at the end of the day, is home a calm space? Is home a sanctuary where when you come through the door, you take a deep breath and you kind of shed the stress of the day? Or do you come into your home and look around and go, oh, is it just more work? So this is my first question for you, is how calm is your home right now? What is the energy in the space that you are living in? Because let's face it, especially over the last couple of years, we have spent a whole lot more time in our homes than we ever have. If you've gone from working out in the world, 8 or 10 or 12 hours a day to being at home all the time, that's a big shift. That's a big change. And you may have found that rather than the clutter and stuff getting taken care of because you're home more, that it's actually gotten worse. That there's actually gotten to be more of it because of that stress in our minds and our bodies with all the things happening in the world right now. And it can be really stressful. So what we want to do is try and create a home environment that is a sanctuary, that is calm, so that when we come home at the end of the day, or when we wake up in the morning, walking out into our kitchen to make the coffee, or going into the office to work from home, feels more calm, feels more stressful. Our home should not be a source of additional stress. Our homes should be a calm space that supports us, that supports our mental health, that supports our physical health. And there are a ton of things that, create chaos in our homes, whether it's clutter, whether it's chemicals, whether it's, scents, all of these things have an impact on our nervous system. And they keep our nervous system kind of jacked up a little bit when it really needs to be down here. So again, this is a reason why I start with the home and creating that calm environment, because you can't be calm in a chaotic space. It just doesn't work. When your space is chaotic and you're within that energy all the time, your mind and your body are going to be in a state of chaos as well. So let me know what your biggest challenge is with creating calm in your home. It's what the biggest challenge is in decluttering. Because, have you ever said, if I only had a week, I would just go through this place and take care of it all, and it would all be great and wonderful. And then you get the time off and you don't do it because it's overwhelming. It's so much to take care of when you look at it as a whole big bite. And so we're going to talk a little bit about breaking that down and ways to make it less overwhelming. And this is something that I went through with my divorce and moving, is I had to go through a ton of stuff. I went from a 2,400 square foot house into a 680 square foot cottage. So there was a lot of getting rid of stuff, clearing stuff out that had to be done. And it's quite a process, right? There's a lot of stuff that comes up. And this is why that the stuff in your home is related to your mind and your body and your energy, because as you start to clear it out, memories go through your mind, emotions come up, all of these things come up as you go through this decluttering process. And it's one of the reasons why I offer the support and the guidance, because it's a whole lot easier to do when you've got help, when you have someone holding space for you and in it with you as the stuff comes up. So I can't see. I'm looking for comments. But yeah, so let me know, what is your biggest challenge? What is your biggest challenge with decluttering, and how calm does your space feel now? Does it feel calm now? Hi, Jamie. Hi, Linda. I can see you there. Thanks for joining me. So one of the first things to start with is, because we look around and, we see all this stuff in our space, and it's all we think is, I just want to clear this out. I just want to get rid of this. I just want to, get it done. But do you have a vision for what it looks like when it's done? Do you have a vision for what the process looks like for getting it done? Because this is something you have to think about, is what does the space actually look and feel like when it is done? What is the energy? What is the, how do you want it to look after everything is done? And have you given thought to how, once you clear the stuff out, how you're going to keep it gone? So one of the biggest challenges I know a lot of people have is mail and paper and just all that stuff that comes. And we tend to bring it in, toss it in a pile, and then it sits there. And then it builds up, and it just becomes this pile of stuff to deal with. And then it becomes very overwhelming. So one of the things that you can do is, rather than trying to tackle the entire room all at once, is look at just this pile of papers and go through, set a timer. I love timers. Timers are awesome. And this is one of the things, like, instead of looking at the whole big thing, take it in little bites. You can do a lot in tiny little bites. So I, will recommend a timer for 10 or 11 minutes. 11 is a great number. It's a great energy to work with. So if you set a timer for 11 minutes and dedicate yourself to doing this task just for that 11 minutes, if when the timer goes off, you're on a roll and you want to keep going, by all means, keep going. But don't force yourself. Don't pressure yourself. The thing is to do this in steps so that we take the overwhelm out of it. This is about not making things more chaotic. This is about doing this in a way that feels calm as we do it, as well as creating calm at the end of it. So there's a lot to it, and I'm rambling. I do have notes, but I'm kind of all over the place. So thank you for bearing with me. I know y'all know I ramble. But using a timer is a really good way. So rather than thinking, I need a week off and I can just do all of this and get all this done and then it'll be great and whatever, 10 minutes at the end of a day. If you do 10 or 11 minutes, 6 days a week, all of a sudden that's an hour that you've spent, and you can get so much done in that time. And we often think that, just those few minutes, it's not enough. I'm not going to get anything done in 10 minutes. And frankly, it's a load of crap. So, this is something that I learned way back when, I think it was 2008, and I was still very much living in chronic pain, chronic fatigue, and doing anything was really a challenge. I had to push, and there came a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to break this down and I'm going to do it in little bites. And so I started using TV commercials as my timer. And a TV commercial break is 2 minutes. And I learned through doing that 2 minutes is actually a decent amount of time, and you can get more done in 2 minutes than you realize. So I would use the commercial breaks, and I would get up and I would work for 2 minutes, and I would really had to be ruthless and dedicated, and not in a harsh way, but ruthless in my commitment to myself, both in the discipline of using the 2 minutes and being dedicated to only using the 2 minutes, because the rest in between those 2 minutes was just as important. And so breaking things down, you can get a lot. If you do 2 minutes at a time all day long, at the end of the day, you've actually done 2 or 3 hours worth of work. You've actually done 2 or 3 hours worth of stuff, but it's not a push. It's not a stress. It's not overwhelming, because you're just doing it in little bites. And it can be hard to walk away, from a sink half done, dishes half done, but you're only walking away for a short bit. You're just taking a pause and then coming back to it. And so this is the thing about breaking it down and doing it in little bites. And like I say, at the end of a week, after spending 10 or 11 minutes setting a timer and doing this every day in little bites, by the end of the week, you will have a very big dent made in whatever it is you're working on. So, you can pick mail, you can pick a cupboard, you can pick one room that you're going to dedicate, a month to doing. This doesn't have to be done all at once. There is no rule book. There is no rule book that says once you start this room, you have to do it all. Rule book doesn't exist, right? That is creating pressure. That is creating chaos. And that is not the goal. We want to create calm. And there is a way to do this in a calm way as well. So thinking about your vision, picking the task you want to do, and then breaking it down and using a timer is a really simple and effective way to start creating calm in whatever space you choose. And thinking about holding that intention of how this space is going to feel when it's all done, letting go of the pressure that you have to do it all at once, because again, there's no rule book. There is no rule that says, you know, you have to clean your bathroom all at once, or you have to, you know, do a room from top to bottom, end to end in an afternoon. Life happens, things happen. And so breaking it down and letting that pressure off yourself is one of the ways to help you create calm in your home. So let me know if this is all making sense. Again, I know I'm rambling. It's what I do. I ramble. It's a thing. So yeah, I'm really curious how your home feels, how, if you have calm in your home now, or if it is a stress when you get home, and what your vision for that space is, and what the biggest challenge is. Because, you know, knowing what the challenge is allows you to address the challenge and find ways to sort through it. You know, if you've got kids or teenagers or a husband who contributes to the clutter and the chaos in the home, you know, one of the rules that can really help is, you know, don't put it down, put it away. So this is another really simple little tool that, rather than putting something down and having to come back to it later and deal with it later, just put it away. It takes no more time, it takes no more energy to put something away in its proper spot than it does to put it, you know, it takes more energy to put it down and then have to come back to it later. And putting it down and having to come back to it later is contributing to the chaos as opposed to the calm. So, you know, you can toss your dish rag on the counter, or you can hang it on its hook, its towel rack, whatever. It takes no more time, but it's tidier and it's calmer. And it's finding ways, making the effort, being ruthless. And again, not in a harsh way, but just in that commitment to yourself in creating this calm space that you want, so that when you come home at the end of the day, or when you get up in the morning, you're getting up into a calm environment. And really, very often we live with clutter and stuff for so long, we don't actually realize how much of an impact that it is having on our minds and our bodies, because it's just part of our environment. It's just part of the way things are in our homes. It's always been that way. And so until we start to actually make the shifts and make the changes and put the systems and practices in place to keep it that way, then we start to realize the change in our bodies and in our minds by changing our environments. I actually, in the process of clearing out the office, I don't know if you can hear how echoey it is in here, but in clearing out the office to get ready to paint, I cleared off my desk because there was a lot of, you know, stones and figurines. I had all my owls and all these things on my desk. And so because I know I had to move the desk to be able to paint and all that kind of stuff, I cleared it off. And initially, it felt really naked. It felt really strange and different, because I was used to having all of my things on my desk around me. And in the couple of weeks since I've done that, because I'm not quick when it comes to doing this stuff, I've actually really come to love how calm and uncluttered my desk is now. So I have my shungite and my selenite wand here for clearing energy and protection from EMFs, and the selenite wand for, you know, clearing out the wonky energy from, you know, some of the reports that I do at work. But then the only things that are on my desk now is my salt lamp, my phone, my hourglass, and my singing bowl, which is another energy clearing method. And so it's gone from being full of things that I loved, things that made me happy, but clearing it off, initially it felt naked, it felt very strange. And when we make changes, our mind tends to rebel a little bit against these changes because, you know, our minds don't like change. So change can be hard. And, our mind goes, okay, what is she doing? She's doing something different. What the heck is going on here? But taking a little bit of time to settle into that change, I love it. It's so much more expansive and so much calmer than having all these fiddly little bits. And some of these things are not coming back. Some things may come back. When all the painting is done, the shelves are on the list for tonight because my ceiling is done now. It's so exciting. But it's, our minds tend to rebel against this change. So this is another reason why taking it in small bites and taking it in small steps and holding that vision that you have for what you want the space to look like, for the energy that you want to have in that space, doing it in little steps so that your mind is able to integrate the change and easily and make that adjustment a little bit more easily, is a lot less chaotic and a lot less overwhelming than trying to go in and do a whole room in a day or a week, and again, it's like, if I had a week off, I would just do it all. And then we don't do it because it feels like too much. It just feels overwhelming. And so again, taking it in little bites, doing it in little bits, allowing that space and that time to adjust, to allow your mind and your body to adjust to the change. Because when your nervous system has been up here for years and years, I mean, I don't know about you, but like this clutter that I cleared out when I moved, it had been there for years. And it was this low level hum. It was this thing that I just never got around to. And, it just never got done. And even when I had the time off, I didn't want to do it because it felt overwhelming. It felt like too much. And then when my divorce rolled around, I had no choice. I had to do it. So, sometimes the universe pushes us into doing the things that we may not necessarily feel ready to do, but it was a very cathartic process. And this, again, is another reason why taking things in little bites, setting those timers, doing a little bit each day, holding that vision of what you want the space to be in the end as you do the work completely shifts the energy. And, when I do work in this office, in this workshop, I can feel the energy shift when I'm sitting out in the front room. It changes the energy in the entire cottage by working on one room. And this is whether you start in your bedroom, which I highly recommend, because your bedroom should be the calmest space in your house, because you will sleep better. It can help with insomnia if you don't sleep well, if you don't fall asleep easily. A lot of times the impact of having so much stuff in your room is one of the reasons why. Again, our homes are an extension of ourselves. So if your mind is running off on tangents, that energy of clutter and chaos and stuff in your bedroom is actually supporting that mind tangent running, that monkey mind. And we're going to talk about our minds. I think mind is Thursday. I think we do home first and then mind next. I have notes. But letting go of the pressure to do everything all at once, letting go of that, our moms, we a lot of us come from this generation of, having to keep the perfect home and always keep it clean and always keep it tidy. But we were never taught the simple ways to do this. Right? And this is another thing. When you have the vision and you get the clearing out and you have the systems in place, all of a sudden maintaining it becomes a lot easier. Rather than it taking all day Sunday to clean your house and get it back to, after a week of stuff, a week of life and all the things, you actually will have your Sundays or whatever day to relax, because the maintenance gets done on the daily, and there's not this requirement or this feeling of having to reset the home on a Sunday and get ready for the week ahead. You know, maybe it goes from taking you all day Sunday to taking you an hour on Sunday to just kind of fine tune and, you know, do the little bit of tidying that needs to be done. With the way that I have the cottage set up, I can dust the entire cottage in about half an hour now. And this is because I have it set up in that way. Maintenance happens on the daily basis. There's not a lot of stuff that needs to be moved to be dusted around. It's just do it. It takes a minute because there's not a lot of stuff there. But yeah, once you have it done, the maintenance becomes a lot easier. So that calm extends out as you do the initial work and put the systems in place. Then maintenance becomes easier, so that you create this calm space, but then you can also maintain this calm space. And I hope this is all making sense. Let me know how it feels to you. Let me know what your thoughts are, if anything's coming up, if you have questions. That's kind of the whole point of this, right? Is not just me rambling off on my tangent about creating calm in the home, but to help and support you if you're getting started on this, because I know so many people who have had, you know, stuff everywhere for years and they never seem to get a dent in it. And if they do, it doesn't take very long before the clutter starts to creep its way back in again and the chaos starts to come back. So it's, you know, it's doing the work, but it's also creating the system so that it doesn't come back. So coming back to the mail example, once you have gone through it all and sorted it out so you don't have this big pile, one of the things that you can do afterwards is have this system. So when you pick up your mail and you come home, rather than tossing it in a pile to deal with later, open everything up. Get rid of the envelopes, open everything up, and have a pile. You know, this needs to be taken care of right now. This is my to-do. These things need to be taken care of, whether it's, you know, your insurance is due, or you know, my registration is coming up. I expect a letter in the mail at any point now. So that will go in my to-do pile, and I have a spot for that. And, you know, keep it to a minimum so that there's only 2 or 3 things there that need to be taken care of right away. Take care of them. Take the 5 minutes and take care of them. Then there's the stuff that, you know, maybe it's a mortgage statement. Maybe it's a bank statement or a credit card statement or something that you keep that needs to be filed. So having a to be filed spot specifically for it that has a limit on it. I have my little, if you can see it, this is my, I need something prettier, but I have my little banker's box top there. And it's only about 1 inch thick, and things to be filed go in that box, but there's a limit on it. And never let that box overflow. So then when you go to do the filing, again, it only takes 5 or 10 minutes to go through that little pile and file it all away, and it's done. So it's done in a little bite. And then there may be things like flyers or, you know, those random, I don't know, stuff from politicians and, you know, all of that kind of crap junk mail that we get. And if you have a wood stove, instead of throwing it on the counter, it goes in your burn bag or your burn pile or wherever you keep your stuff. I have a little bag where my paper goes next to my kindling. So when that stuff comes in the house, it goes in that bag. It doesn't just get tossed on the table and create a pile. It comes in, the mail gets opened up, the things that need to have action taken go on my desk, The things that need to be filed go in the box, and then the things that need to get burned or recycled go in their spots. And this takes 5 minutes, right? To do this as soon as it comes into the house. And then it's not building up so it becomes this big thing. This is where the maintenance comes in, where the systems come in. So once you tackle the pile, you need to have a way to prevent the pile from coming back. So have your vision, take your baby steps, and then create your systems, your maintenance systems. And if we come together and work together, this is something that we will do together. And, we will create systems that work for you in your life. Just because this is the way I do it doesn't mean that this is the way that it's going to work for you. I live alone. I don't have teenagers or a husband, contributing to the chaos in my home. So it makes it very different. So we would create things that would work for you in your life, and go through, and you would have the support as you clear out the clutter and whatever room you're working on, and the help and the support. Because doing it alone, there's a reason why you haven't done it yet, right? Because you're on your own, and it feels like a lot to do on your own. So that is one of my reasons for offering the help with it, because having a calm home is so important. Our homes are an extension of us, and the clutter and the chaos is created through the chaos in our minds. So when we start to clear out the clutter in our homes, by extension, it will also start to calm our minds. All of these things are like a web. They're all tied together. They're all intertwined. And, once you start working on creating calm in your home, you will notice that energy spreads out. It expands. So it expands to creating more calm in your mind. It expands to creating more calm in your body. Your nervous system starts to ease its way back down into a homeostasis, into its natural state. So it's not always keyed up. Let me know if this all makes sense, because like I say, I'm always rambling. But I guess the most important things to remember is that our homes are not separate from us. And so when we work on our homes, when we work on creating calm in our homes, it has a very significant impact on our mental and physical health, right? When we come home from a stressful day and our home keeps us in that stressful state, as opposed to, being a space that we can feel calm in and relaxed in. This is something that I notice so much, so strongly right now, is on the days when I go to town, when I do my supply runs. The energy in town is very chaotic. The energy in town is very heavy. The vibration is, I had a full-blown sobbing, shaking panic attack in Walmart one day because of things that happened and because of the energy in that space. And it was a lot. And I was in the line waiting for the cash and I was sobbing. I have no shame. If I need to cry, I cry. I don't give a rat's ass where I am or who sees, because I'm letting it out. I think it freaked out the lady who was directing people to the cash, but the cashier was lovely. By the time I got out, I was starting to calm down. But when I got home, stepping into the door of the cottage, I felt myself go from here to here, just by walking through the door, because I have a calm space, because I've created a calm and safe energy in my home, and it's incredibly supportive to my mental health. I was in a horrible state in town, Horrible state. It was one of the worst trips to town I've had in the 6 years since I've been here. It was awful. But because I have a calm home, because I have a calm space here, when I came home, that stress, that anxiety, that chaotic energy just kind of evaporated as soon as I came in the door, because my home is supportive of that calm energy. So again, this is why we start with our home, so that we can create a calm space that supports our mental health, that supports our physical health. That's kind of the end of it. At the end of the day, you need a calm space to be calm in. You cannot be calm in a chaotic space, not without a whole lot of practice. I don't know if you've ever had this happen, but you go to visit someone and they're like a hoarder, and there's just stuff everywhere, and it just jacks you up, right? It jacks up your nervous system. Your shoulders get tense, your neck gets tense, your jaw gets tensed, your lower back will start to hurt. Everything just tightens up. And then when you leave, you feel that release. And so this is what we want in our homes. We want to come home to a calm space, and also be in a calm space. So, if something happens in your world, in your life, if there's an accident, if someone gets sick, if, I don't know, what shit happens, right? If your well freezes, if your water freezes, if your septic overflows, these are things that have happened here. But I was able to stay calm through them because of the space that I was in, because my home is supportive to my mental health, to my physical health. And so it can take time, of course, to, if you've been living in clutter and chaos for years, it takes time to do it. And that's why I say breaking it down, breaking it into small bites, 11 minutes here, 10 minutes there, half an hour, whatever the case may be, but breaking it down into little bits so that the process of creating calm is not overwhelming in and of itself. You want to be calm and create calm in your home. So I hope that makes sense. And again, if this is something that you've been struggling with, if it's something that you would like support with, let me know, reach out. We can talk about how we can work together. It's one of my favorite things to do, get pictures, and, you have me holding space for you and in your corner. I won't say 24/7, but all day long, I'm here. I got your back. We can do video calls and just sort through all the things to get you from where you are to the vision of the calm space that you want to have. So, and it's such incredible energy work, and it's one of my favorite things to do. So if you're looking for help, if you need help, if you want help, reach out, let me know. And we can talk about, again, what your vision is, what it looks like now. Send me pictures, no judgment. If you saw the basement shit that I dealt with, you would understand why. I don't care what it looks like now. What I care about is how it's impacting you and getting it to where you want it to be, so that your home becomes a calm and supportive space. I'm just looking at my notes because I feel like there's something else here, and I'm curious, how much stuff do you have that you don't actually use? How much do you have sitting around that doesn't bring you joy, that is there just because it was a gift from, someone who was important 10, 20, 30 years ago, 5 years ago, that you keep just because it was a gift, not because it brings you joy, not because it makes you happy, not because you use it, but just because it was a gift. And so you should keep it. How much stuff do you have like that? How much stuff do you have that doesn't actually make you happy when you look at it? How much stuff do you have that feels like a weight as opposed to a joy? This was part of the big process of the cleaning out when I was downsizing. Every single thing, and this is again is part of the being ruthless and dedicated to the process, being committed to creating your calm and letting go of attachments to things that are there just because, or just in case. Just because and just in case are really heavy, low vibrational energies. And you don't have to keep stuff just because. You don't have to keep stuff just in case. There's probably things that you've been keeping just in case for 5 years, 10 years that you've never laid a hand on. So why is it still there? You don't need it. You don't use it. It's just taking up space. Get rid of it. Get it out. And when I was cleaning out and downsizing, this was part of my process, was, does this make me happy? Does this make me smile when I look at it? Does it make me feel good? Does it bring me joy? Does it lift me up? Or does it weigh me down? If it weighed me down, it did not come here. And it wasn't always easy to let go. But I was committed and dedicated to feeling good, to creating joy, to creating a space that felt good to me, that felt happy to me, that felt calm to me. And, you know, when I had the thought, wow, I should keep this just in case. No, we do not keep things just in case. Because chances are, if 5-6 years down the road you need it, it's probably not difficult to replace. Chances are. So keeping that thing in your space is just heavy. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't make you happy. It doesn't make you feel good. It doesn't bring you joy. You don't use it. When you look at it, I should get rid of that, but, ooh, no, I should get rid of that, period. So get rid of it. Paying attention to your thoughts as you go through the process and asking the question, does this make me feel good? Does this make me happy? Does this bring me joy? Do I use this? Do I need this? You know, when is the last time I used it? And again, if you're keeping it just because or just in case, I'm sorry, I'm doing air quotes a lot, that's annoying. You don't need it. You can let that go. And then there may be thoughts, memories, emotions, attachments that come up that make it difficult to actually let some of these things go, let some of this stuff go. And again, that's where the help and the support comes in, because when that stuff comes up, having someone there with you, holding space for you and helping you work through it so that you can let these things go is incredibly helpful. It's incredibly supportive. And, you know, I did a lot of it on my own. I also had a lot of help from my mother-in-law at the time. And it's funny because the way she helped was like, well, you should keep this just in case. And whenever she said that, I'm like, okay, gone. No, not keeping it. We're not keeping stuff just in case. So that was a really big help. That really kind of kept me on track and focused. And so that is, you know, doing this stuff with help is so much easier. So if that is something you want or something you need, by all means, reach out and let me know. And I don't know if anyone has commented. If you have and I'm not seeing it, I will absolutely reply to you after this live. If you're watching the replay, comment along, ask your questions, whatever you need as far as this kind of ramble goes, let me know, and I will absolutely, I'll be checking in to see if there's comments or questions or whatever the case may be, so that we can cover those things. Yeah, because I'm here to support you and help you start to create your calm and create that home environment, help bring that vision, that calm space that you want, that you need, help you bring that to life. So, yeah. Again, just check in. Check in my notes. I think I have rambled on everything I wanted to say today. So, yeah, creating our homes, you know, kind of a little overview. Our homes are an extension of ourselves. Clutter and chaos in our homes has a huge impact on our mental health, has a huge impact on our physical health, because when we have that chaotic energy in our home, our shoulders are tight, our backs hurt, we may have headaches, may have high blood pressure, anxiety, you know, the whirly mind. And again, we're going to talk about calming our minds later on in this series. But our homes are an extension of us. They're not separate from us. That's like saying your finger is separate from your hand, and it's not. Our homes are connected to us. They are a part of us. They're a reflection of us. And so creating that calm in your space can really have a huge impact on your mental health. And again, you may not even realize how much of an impact it's having until you start really clearing it out and really getting the systems in place to maintain it. You'll start to find yourself more and more committed to maintaining the calm and creating the systems, because all of a sudden, when the clutter starts to creep back in, you notice the effects. Even if you haven't noticed them for the last 20 years, you will start to notice them as you clear the stuff out. So huge impact on our mental health and our physical health, the tension in our bodies, our nervous systems being jacked up. You know, we can't be calm in a chaotic space. So creating that calm in your home will help create calm in your mind and in your body as part of that web. Break it down. Do it in small bites. Let go of the pressure to do it all at once. Doing it in little bites does make a difference, right? And again, we think, 10 minutes is not going to make a difference. But it is, and it does, particularly if you're consistent with it. So again, if you're doing 10 or 11 minutes every day, at the end of a week, you've done over an hour, and an hour can make a gigantic difference. I learned this, using the TV commercial as my timer, but setting a timer on your phone, using the timer on your stove, and just breaking it up, doing one shelf in a cupboard, doing one drawer in a dresser, doing one shelf or one closet at a time, just breaking it down into little bites so that you're not creating more chaos and more overwhelm by trying to force yourself to do it all at once. Doing it, breaking it down into little bites. And again, there's no rule book. There is no rule that says you have to do everything all at once. And breaking it down is a lot easier. And a lot calmer and a lot more productive at the end of it, to be honest. And then holding your vision while you do it and creating the systems to keep the stuff from piling up again, so that you don't get it all done and then a week or a month or 6 months down the road, you're in the same state you were before you started. The point is to do it and then be able to maintain it easily. Maintenance is easier than cleaning. I used to say this to my mom all the time because she hates cleaning, and I'd be like, well, just do maintenance. Maintenance is easy. If you don't like cleaning, just do maintenance. Do it a little bit at a time. Don't leave, you know, the sliced breadcrumbs all over the counter for an hour and a half, so then you feel like you're cleaning. Slice your bread, wipe up the crumbs, done, maintained, easy, right? Clean as you go. But yeah, so having your vision, breaking it down into little bites, using timers, understanding and knowing that you don't have to do it all at once and that the little bits do make a big difference. And then having those systems in place for maintaining it after the work is done so that it doesn't come back. And I talked a little bit about the mail. There are all kinds of other things that you can do when it comes to clothes, when it comes to cupboards, when it comes to utility closets. Like, all of these things can have their easy, quick maintenance, so that, again, it's not overwhelming, it's not a chore, so that your home is calm and maintaining it is easy. So that's it. That is my ramble on creating calm out of chaos in your home. Please let me know if all of this makes sense. If you have questions, if you have comments, please let me know. I know I have rambled here for a little while, and again, as always, I hope it all makes sense, and I hope that you have gotten something that you need. I hope that maybe you've had a little shift in perspective about what it looks like to create calm in your home and how it will impact your mental and physical health, and that shift in perspective will help get you started in shifting the energy in your home if you feel that the space is chaotic and you're ready to shift it into a calm space. Because let's face it, we need all the calm we can get in this world right now. And as each one of us, like I said, just cleaning off my desk expanded the energy into my cottage. As each one of us creates our own little calm world, calm ourselves, calm our homes, that energy expands and creates calm in the greater collective energy, because we are all connected. We are connected to our home, we are connected to our environment, we are connected to our communities, and the more we can create calm in our own homes, individual homes, the more that calm energy expands out and creates more calm in our home as at large, both in our communities and on the earth as a whole, because energy is all connected. There is no getting away from it. We are all connected. The energy is all connected. And again, this calm energy that we create individually expands out and impacts the world as a whole. So let me know if you have questions. Drop your comments. Let me know if you have caught the replay. Let me know if this all makes sense, if you need clarification on anything, if you're looking for some help and some space holding and some support as you go through this. Let me know. We can talk about how we can, how I can support you, how we can work together and create your calm space, create your calm in your home. And as you do it, I know you'll start to notice that opens up and expands into all the other areas, mind, body, and spirit. The three more things that we're going to talk about in this masterclass series. And if I just have I just want to confirm. Yeah, so Thursday we're going to talk about creating calm in our minds. So if you have that monkey mind that runs off on tangents and keeps you from sleeping at night and, creates chaos, we're going to talk about ways to calm that monkey mind, because, we so often think that we don't have control over our thoughts, and we absolutely do. As human beings, we're very unique in that, we can have a thought and be aware of it. And so that allows us to change it. So we're going to go into all that stuff on Thursday. It'll be the same time, 11 a.m. And again, the replay will be here until February 1st. So you can watch at will. watch whenever you're ready. And if you do catch the replays, let me know. And again, questions, comments, I'm here to support you and answer those. And yeah, that's what I'm here for. So I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful rest of Tuesday. I am going to freshen up my coffee and have something to eat and get myself to work. So again, I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful rest of Tuesday, and I will try and sort out the technology before we meet again on Thursday. And so I'm sending you all kinds of love and bright blessings and wishes for a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day.